Una de las cosas que tú mencionas en tu libro, La historia de la realidad, y que creo que es algo que nos puede cambiar la perspectiva, es justamente cómo el problema del mal, que muchas veces es utilizado como un argumento y como si fuera un problema para el cristianismo, realmente, y diría yo inesperadamente, es realmente un problema para el ateísmo. Entonces, ¿a qué te refieres con esto y cuál es el punto que tú haces al respecto?
Yeah. Well, when I talk to atheists, like at a university or something, about the problem of evil, well, there may be atheists and a mixture of people, but the one point I make just right at the beginning, before I even try to unpack the problem and show how Christianity can speak to that problem, is I tell them that the problem of evil is not a problem is not a Christian problem. It's not a theist's problem. It's a human problem. Every single human being faces that problem. Everybody knows there's a problem. Doesn't matter where you lived or when you lived. We know that something's wrong with the world. That's the problem of evil. And we know the problem is out there somewhere. It isn't just that, oh, some things happen that I don't like. We know that things aren't right, that things happen that should not happen. And that presumes that there are real moral laws that govern the universe that people break. And we see that. That's evil. How could God allow that to happen? Maybe God doesn't even exist. Okay, I understand that. And I tell the audience, I say, you know, many of you are atheists because of the problem of evil. I get it. I understand that. But I want to point something out. By getting rid of God, you have not gotten rid of the problem, because all those things that you said were evil, they still happen, don't they? Even if God didn't exist, those things still happen. So now what do you make of that? Are they still evil? Of course, that's what you're complaining about. You're identifying real bad things. Now my question is, how do you as an atheist handle the problem of evil? How do you explain it? How do you resolve it? And the problem for atheists is that since they reject God, they've rejected the standard that is over everybody, that comes from God, that makes evil even intelligible. You can make sense of evil because there's a broken rule, a broken moral rule. But in atheism, there are no broken moral rules, not like that. Okay, so then how do you solve it? So what I've done is I've shifted this a little bit. I haven't answered for Christians yet, but I have pointed out that the atheist has the same problem that we have, that he thinks we have. Okay, and they can't solve it. There's no solution for them on this. But though they put the problem on us, we have a solution, because it is not the problem that people think it is for Christians, all right? And the reason is that evil is part of our story. In fact, we wouldn't have a story if there wasn't a problem of evil. Our entire story is about solving the problem of evil. And by the way, the problem of evil makes sense in our story, because there is a God who is a good God over everything, who gave human beings the freedom to obey or disobey. That freedom is a good thing, but they used it for the bad thing, to rebel against God. And that broke the world, and it broke human beings, and broke our relationship with God. And when you live in a broken world, then broken things are going to happen to people. Okay? That's why there's evil. The point I'm making, Diego, is that the Christian understanding of reality can explain why there's evil, and can explain how to beat it. Because the entire story is about the problem of evil and how God resolves it. And that means there's two things that have to be fixed. The world needs to be fixed. That's broken. But so do the people who cause the evil and do the evil. They need to be fixed too. And so our story has an answer to both of those problems, and our story is not over yet. And that is the key. So it turns out that the problem of evil is not a problem for Christians the way people think it is. We have the solution. But it's a problem for atheists. I think the problem of evil is one of the best arguments for God and against atheism, and not the other way around.